Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on a really unusual journey, I have to say. We're looking at a collection of, well, the source calls them 10 videos from the future,
Yeah.
and they describe them as completely unexplainable.
Hmm.
Seriously, they said what they saw was, quote, so weird to the point of madness.
Hmm.
So our mission today is to try and unpack these really, really strange observations, look at the details they gave, and just see what questions come up, even if, they make absolutely no sense by today's standards.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge when you're dealing with predictions. This radical and frankly disorienting. We need to
Yeah.
keep an open mind for sure, but also, stay analytical as we explore what sounds like a very fragmented, almost chaotic glimpse of something else. It really pushes the imagination.
Okay, let's dive in then. The first scene, it starts us off in San Francisco, or a version of it. The source talks about seeing a huge egg-shaped blue building. But what's really striking is what's not there. Several iconic landmarks are just gone.
Mm.
They mention something called the Wandering Cornell Tower. Maybe a garbled name for the Transamerica Pyramid?
Could be, or something entirely new from their timeline.
Right, because they say it was built in 2007, or 11 years ago from their viewpoint. And the California Center, built 85, so 23 years ago for them, also gone. And just to make things weirder, there's a car spotted that apparently won't be made for another 5 years, or 2022 from their time. It's a strange mix of details.
The absence of major landmarks like that, I mean, it speaks volumes, doesn't it? It suggests a really profound shift in maybe urban planning or societal values. Are we talking about tearing things down for environmental reasons? Or maybe in this future, those symbols of, say, corporate power just aren't relevant anymore.
So it's less about why they're gone, maybe, and more about what their absence signifies.
Exactly. What does their disappearance tell us about what that future society values or doesn't value?
Okay, but then it gets even stranger. Beyond recognizable city stuff, the source describes other way stranger buildings. Talk about metal mesh buildings everywhere, and apparently they look slightly different from one another.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the really weird part. Humans seem to be drawn to them, and they're actually called alien towers, built everywhere, cities, fields, even for artists.
Alien towers that humans are drawn to. That's fascinatingly bizarre. It sounds less like standard architecture and more like, I don't know, some kind of interactive environment. Or maybe infrastructure that emits something appealing. Could they be generating energy, providing data? Or if they're really alien, does that imply some kind of non-human intelligence influencing where and how people live? So many questions there.
Definitely. Okay, let's shift from the ground up to the sky. The source mentions a phenomena of ears turning Mars, which is a really odd phrase. Maybe the sky looks red, or there's a sound.
Like a Martian soundscape, perhaps? Or just the visual hue?
Could be.
Hmm.
But the source clarifies immediately. It says, those are nanoparticles in the air. Billions of nanoparticles or nanorobots.
Wow. Okay, not pollution, but actual tiny machines.
Billions of them,
Yeah.
just in the atmosphere.
Right. And if you think about that, an atmosphere filled with nanobots, that implies incredibly advanced tech. Technology that can literally re-engineer the environment on a microscopic level. Are they cleaning the air,
Yeah.
fighting climate change, or something else, maybe controlling the weather, or even affecting people's moods or health? It suggests a level of control that's almost godlike.
And the changes aren't just environmental. Let's talk about the people, or humanoids.
Mm-hmm.
The source describes seeing thousands of 4 to 5 foot humanoids, and they're marching in the streets in synchronicity.
Ah.
They have gold helmets and yellow vests. Very specific uniform.
Thousands marching in sync, all uniformed. That points strongly towards a highly organized, maybe even rigid social structure. It doesn't sound like a spontaneous gathering. It sounds like purpose. Are they workers? Security. A caste.
What kind of purpose, though?
That's the question, isn't it? It raises big questions about individuality versus collective function in this future. Has personal expression been, sidelined for some bigger goal?
But it's not all uniformity. The source also mentions other people, some in military uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this is pretty jarring, human-ape hybrids on the streets.
Hybrids. Okay, so you've got the synchronized humanoids, military types, and human-ape hybrids all coexisting. That really makes you wonder about genetic modification. Has it become routine? Are these different classes, maybe? Or even new species living alongside humans?
It suggests the very definition of human might be flexible in this future.
Radically flexible, it seems. The diversity is almost as unsettling as the uniformity we just talked about. It hints at biological boundaries being completely redrawn.
And speaking of unsettling,
Huh.
maybe the most disturbing image is this. thousands of copies of one white woman.
Hmm.
Identical, same face, body, and hairstyle. And they're described as wearing nothing, swarming government buildings in Washington. The source calls them clones of biorobots of future cybers.
Goodness, that image is incredibly potent. Mass clones, biorobots, all identical, swarming seats of power. The questions that raise about individuality, control, free will, they're immense. What are they? Labor, weapons, a political statement made flesh, literally.
It's terrifying, really.
It forces you to confront what humanity even means if you can mass-produce beings like that for a specific task. Its efficiency taken to a potentially nightmarish extreme.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly to bigger, sort of cataclysmic events mentioned. One is called shutting down Berlin. Just like that. The description is stark. All lights are going down in Berlin permanently.
Permanently, wow.
Yeah. And then a mass exodus. Thousands of people leaving city in snow-white futuristic buses, escorted by a military convoy of strange military vehicles.
Shutting down a major global city like Berlin permanently, that's monumental. What could possibly cause that? A catastrophic environmental event, some kind of contamination, a war we can't even imagine, or maybe the city just failed, became unsustainable.
It suggests a future where even huge cities aren't necessarily permanent fixtures.
Precisely. That entire population might just have to up and leave decisively.
And then, pushing even further into the inexplicable, the source mentions some sorts of gods appear in the gates of fire.
Hmm.
And they add, significantly, this also did not happen yet, from their perspective.
Gods appearing in fiery gates. How do you even begin to process that alongside nanobots and clones? Is it super advanced technology creating illusions like holograms or energy projections designed to look divine?
Oh.
Or is it a shift in human consciousness, a collective experience? Or could it be something genuinely, well, outside our current scientific framework, reintroducing something that feels mythological?
That's hard to even speculate. And there's another deeply disturbing detail related to experiments. A time-space experiment with cigar-shaped object. Apparently it went wrong, leading to its passengers being literally stuck in the concrete walls of surrounding buildings.
Oh, that's horrifying. Just embedded in the walls. It's a chilling reminder, isn't it? About the potential dangers when you push scientific boundaries too far, too fast. Especially with things like time and space, ambition outpacing safety or ethics, with utterly nightmarish consequences for the individuals involved.
Yeah, absolutely chilling. Okay, finally, let's touch on a couple of the maybe most bizarre social phenomena described. First, thousands of panda-dressed humans swarming London.
Panda-dressed humans, thousands of them, in London.
That's what it says.
I mean, why? Is it a protest? Some kind of mass performance art? A bizarre cultural trend?
It's hard to imagine the context.
It really is. It sounds almost whimsical, but on that scale, it's
Uh-huh.
deeply strange. What kind of society produces that? Is it escapism? A new form of social expression?
And the second one is just as puzzling. The source mentions must be fights that have millions of participants in every major city.
Millions participating in fights simultaneously in every major city.
That's the description. Millions.
Okay, are these actual violent conflicts? Or is fights maybe the wrong word? Could it be some kind of massive global competition? A new form of entertainment, maybe?
Like a global Roman circus?
Perhaps. Or maybe it's a reflection of extreme social tension, boiling over into these huge, organized clashes. The scale is just mind-boggling. What could possibly motivate millions in every city to do this?
What an absolutely incredible list of observations, and often really disturbing. You can see why the source felt it was weird to the point of madness.
You really can. And maybe trying to find neat, logical explanations for everything is, well, maybe it's missing the point. Perhaps the value here is just confronting these visions, however fragmented or bizarre they are, and letting them challenge our assumptions about what the future could even look like. They push the boundaries of possibility for cities, tech, biology, society, in ways we wouldn't normally conceive of.
Yeah. And the source itself ends with this plea, basically. If you have an explanation for any of it, please say something. So maybe that's the question for you listening right now. What parts of this possible future strike you? What feels disturbing or resonant or just completely baffling? How do we even start to think about possibilities like these? Perhaps the biggest takeaway from this deep dive is just how profoundly mysterious the future might remain, even if we got a glimpse like this today.